The country's exports expanded by more than 10% in August from a year earlier, marking 11 consecutive months of growth, according to the Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Energy.
산업통상자원부 발표에 따르면 우리나라 8월 수출액이 지난해 같은 달보다 10% 이상 증가해 11개월 연속 증가세를 기록했습니다. Let's talk about exports.
Yeah, did you know that South Korea is the first major economy, or is the major economy that announces trade figures?
Oh, I didn't know that.
The earliest out of any other major economy.
Is
So
that right?
at the beginning of the month, every first of the month is when the Trade Ministry will release these figures. But the latest figures show that exports are people keep a close eye on this in South Korea.
Yeah.
Exports grew by not just more than 10%, 11% to be more precise.
Yep.
11.4% in July, standing at $57.9 billion, according to the Trade Ministry. And if you look at what industries led this growth, semiconductors led this growth. 7 out of 15 key export items, including semiconductors, jumped up 38.8% to $11.9 billion. So if my math is correct, semiconductors make up a fifth of all exports in Korea last month. In terms of the destination, China was the largest destination for Korea's exports, up 8% to China and up 11% to the United States. And in terms of imports grew 6% as well to $54 billion, and that leaves a trade surplus of about $3.8 billion.
So we are exporting mostly to China and America.
Yes, by a slight margin.
Right,
$11.4 billion to China, $10.0 billion to the United States.
자, 그러면은 이제 산업별로 봤을 때는 semiconductors, 또 다른 말로 chips라고도 하죠. 반도체 산업이 한 5분의 1 정도를 차지할 정도로 수출 이렇게 증가하는 데 있어서 많은 몫을 했네요. 그다음에 어느 나라로 수출을 하느냐, 중국 그리고 미국 순이었습니다.
Yeah, so if you look at why semiconductors are so important to Korea's economy, exports make up a huge chunk of the nation's GDP. And if you look at exports more in detail, if semiconductors are making a fifth of those exports, that means just semiconductors alone make up a huge portion of the nation's economy.
Absolutely. Let's look at the word expand here.
Yeah, so like my waistline,
Come on.
for something to expand, it means to increase, right? Either the extent, the number, or the volume of something. It's when something enlarges or extends.
그렇죠. 뭔가 이렇게 늘어난다라는 뜻입니다. 그래서 expand하고 extend도 좀 헷갈릴 수 있는데요. extend는 보통 기간을 늘릴 때 쓰는 말이고 expand는 어떤 뭐 부피가 커진다든지 여기서는 범위나 한도가 커지거나 규모가 커질 때 쓰는 표현이 되겠어요. 그래서 exports have expanded라고 하면은 수출액이 증가했다라는 뜻이 되겠고 consecutive.
Yeah, when something's consecutive, it means it's following one after the other in succession or in sequence.
연속이란 뜻이죠. 그래서 consecutive 앞에 숫자가 나오고요. 11 consecutive months라고 하면은 11개월 연속이란 뜻이 되겠습니다. Here's the headline again. The country's exports expanded by more than 10% in August from a year earlier, marking 11 consecutive months of growth, according to the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy. Let's move on to the next headline.